Good morning, everyone. I'm Rana Marin, and you have come upon an open door. It is Friday, April 24th, 2026, and we are in the program Sharing the Word, where right now we are reading Divine Union by Paul Selig and the Guides. Today we have a special guest host, the one and only May. Thank you for stepping in, May. We appreciate it. And as has been customary, I'm going to play about an 8.5 minute video of the guides, and then we'll come back and start from there. So welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here. And here we go.
When something is not being activated by fear, in other words, when you are not choosing in accord with fear, it is far easier to navigate the common field. Because the common field, in most ways, the common field being reality as you comprehend it, holds signposts of fear everywhere you turn. Don't go here, stay away from this, condemn that, be frightened of this, and most of all, perhaps, be frightened of your neighbor. Don't give your neighbor shelter, she might hurt you, and don't care for the ones less than you because they might take all that you have. And these are claims that are in opposition to Source, if you wish to know. Now, to be in opposition to Source is simply to be in contrariness to it, or to turn the back on what is shining upon you. And the invitation now, and it is indeed present now for all human beings to know themselves as we, as one species, as one expression of the divine come in many, many, many ways, must be seen as the opportunity that is beginning to announce itself. When one human being decides to feed her neighbor, she has done a fine act. But when it becomes entrenched in the culture to take care of one's neighbor, the culture itself is reknown or redeemed. What has prohibited you from doing this is the idea of fear, and how you have been taught in fear to damn another, to fear another, to shun another, who does not appear as you do, does not come from the soil you were born on, prays to a different God, or looks at your partner with eyes that you do not trust. To understand that so much of what you do is protecting an idea born in separation, that so much of what you enact is born in a common agreement to fear that you have shared to the level that it has become commonplace, and you address it as what should always be there, would actually support you in being able to move beyond it. You understand that if we have all decided that Marilyn, who lives down at the end of the road, is a terrible human being, and Marilyn will have to move from the neighborhood because we all give her that look when we pass her on the road, you will understand how the behavior of the collective has been sanctioned and how this kind of behavior is approved of. Whether it is done at the end of your road or it is done in the idea you have of public feature, media, whatever you would wish to call it, it is still happening at this level. Now, we do wish to add that every human being, high, low, and in between, is accountable to his or her acts. And if indeed Marilyn was breaking into everybody's house and stealing their silver, perhaps that needs to be attended to. But if you wish to damn Marilyn for who she is, and not so much address what she has done or believes she must have to do, because nobody would steal all the silver without a belief that it must be stolen or is needed more where she requires it than perhaps you do. To understand that the idea of this is actually something that is so present in the field that you condone it, would be to understand that the shift that can occur is quite simple. I know or realize the divine in Marilyn, and I behold this whole situation in a higher way. Now, Marilyn is still accountable to what she has chosen to learn through, and perhaps you are accountable to the boastfulness that you held when you announced the fine set of silver you had inherited and how much it cost your mother before she passed it on. But you are all accountable to your relations with one another. And to damn a human being, regardless of what he or she has done, and most often based on what you believe she might do again or he might claim for himself at the cost of your safety, must be understood as a systemic way that you claim damnation and you align to it. We are not saying leave all your doors wide open and leave your bank accounts laid bare for whoever wants $20. We are not saying that, but we are saying the crucible you are facing now as a culture is born in many ways in the idea of greed and in the idea of separation. Both of these things, which are ideas claimed in lack or separation from source. In the claim, I know who I am in truth, an individual is announcing herself already as an aspect of the Creator, present and being that does not need to be earned. You are already this. What you are, the manifestation of the divine, is already this. How you serve is how the divine as you expresses itself as the peal of the bell, as the wonderful sound that you claim as your vibrational field and body, as you align and lift and reclaim identity in the upper room. And the world that you find yourself in must, underline this, must be altered through your presence and being. Not necessarily as you say it should be, well, as long as who I have in charge, who I want to see in charge, all will be fine. It not necessarily will be fine, it will be different. But when you claim the action of the Creator upon anything, and you align to that action, you are serving the highest intention, whether or not you can outline it or decide how it should be seen or known through the litany of ideas that the small self has procured over time. Well, we don't like the mayor of our town. Time for the new mayor. Well, you may choose this, but understand that even the idea of a mayor may be outdated, and that there may be some other way that the town can be governed to serve the highest for all who are present. The structures that you have utilized as a culture are in some ways being dismantled and in other ways being reknown or reconfigured because you have got to see how things have been in order to align to the higher potential. If you wish to pretend that you have not been greedy, that you have not starved your neighbors or shunned the one beside you, you must understand that these things will continue to show themselves as requiring the need to be addressed. And you indeed are beginning to address as a culture the separation that you have chosen to learn through. When a community decides as one to raise its voice to the higher calling, when the community itself makes itself available to care for their neighbors, when the community itself starts to sing in one voice in all of the different languages that community may speak, with all of the different histories that community may hold, the divine is present and sung. And the great sound of the bell, the great song of the bell is announcing to all that the time has come for union.
All right. Does anyone have anything they want to bring up after that? Should we just get right into the reading? Page 11. And then if anyone would like to read, maybe raise your hand and I'll write it down. Okay. Rana, Sandra, did anyone, Lonnie? Okay. And then Rick. Okay. All right. That'll work for now. Ronald, do you want to start us off?
Sure. And
Okay.
we're gonna kind of go through like almost a page, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's good with that? Okay. So we'll see. So at the bottom of 11, after the pause. When we see you before us in a perfected state, we understand what you've been through, how you've self-identified, the benefits of learning that have come through this. We also understand you beyond them, which means we are not relegating you to your ideas of personal history. Yes, your mother had a temper. Yes, your father drank too much. Yes, the last marriage didn't work very well, and that's that. Who you are beyond these things, beyond all these ideas born in an idea of self that has been accrued through a lens of separation. Underline that phrase, lens of separation. Imagine you are looking through a camera and the lens is foggy, smudged with fingertips. Imagine that the lens that you see through has withstood many things, accrued much evidence of separation, and believes that that must be the only reality. Now, to wipe the lens clean is also to release the beliefs that have accrued through viewing through this lens, and that's what you are unwilling to do. You would rather murder the one you can't stand than learn to love her. You would rather partake in a hateful rally than learn to understand the differences between you and the others beside you. You would rather choose to rest in the old, even if the old holds pain and suffering, when the new could provide you with a different way of being, but would require you to change. Now, what changes except an idea of self that has been born into a field that believes itself to be separate from the source of all things? Imagine you are born behind a wall. The wall is the only thing you've known. Of course, there is a wall, and every choice you make in life, whether or not you know it, is informed by the presence of that wall. Now, if you understood that that wall was a man-made structure, something that was acclimated to that, in fact, you contribute to through your honoring of the wall, you would understand that nature itself exists beyond this idea. Human nature is not bound by separation or the laws that it would imply it holds. Now, to understand union is first to decide that there is something on the other side of that wall. And that wall is an idea that has been reinforced throughout the millennia by all who believed in it. In some ways, you were taught to believe in it. A god upon a cloud, upon a mountain that required a sacrifice. A god that required some to perish in a flood while a select few survived. Your belief in a God that could turn on you in any instant has created institutions to allow you access or a sense of privilege to God. If I pray as I am taught, I will get to my God's heaven. If those people don't pray as they should, they will perish in fire. Your desire for a kind of certainty has claimed you in separation, not only from God, but from everyone else. I'll stop there.
Human nature is not bound by separation or the laws that it would imply it holds. I think that I was thinking about timelessness in that sense. And, um, how um, this is like a state that has always been there, and even before like warring societies, like thousands and thousands of years back, which is, I think, a helpful framework for understanding these teachings is to think about a time when humanity wasn't really like focused on that kind of like collective detrimentism or something. Yeah. Anything else stand out to anyone else? You can keep going. Okay. Oh, William.
I'm just wanting to, I'm wanting to jump in to this feeling this morning. And what I see for myself is the greed and separation that I've lived with, but I don't live with that. I mean, I see so much that I didn't see before. Anyway, I guess what now, something moved me to join because I feel I put myself in that community, and I'm in listening to you, May. It's that community that I am. We are. I just wanted to say good morning to all. Just that I had the feeling I wanted to join, but it's not just you. It's all and myself. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for being the leader.
Yeah, we're tearing down that wall. Okay.
I
Um,
think that I'll just add that, I mean, it just keeps being emphasized over and over. I like this sentence. To understand union is first to decide that there is something on the other side of that wall. And that's a little bit scary, right? Because it's the unknown,
yeah,
and like it points to it, there's that part of me that's like, what's that going to look like? And I think what that really is, if I'm honest about it, is a sense of the future is bad. Like there's still that idea that I'm separate from God and that there'll be a sacrifice somehow to even go beyond the wall, and that's part of the old idea. That idea of that you're going to lose something in order to join, and that this idea of separation is not true. So I've got to be willing in the beginning to be like, all right, I'll believe it if you believe it. I'll believe you believe, and just
yeah.
kind of go with it from there. And that's the
Yeah.
union.
You know, it is this element of trust, but like, and they illustrate in the teachings where it's like there is this like residual affect from living in a collective field. filled with fear. And like right now, like I feel it in my body. Like I'm like kind of like trying to deal with it in my own like personal individuated way. But like, and I understand that it's coming from like a group collectivism. But yeah, I think that is the like essential element of the teaching, is that you do have to just trust it and let it like flow through and not define what that experience is besides just the experience itself. Like, and that experience is feeling the full interconnected. It's trust. Yeah. And trusting that there's whatever it is we do, and like the the ways in which we're worked with too, like just out in reality, is yeah, something of um Bonnie.
Let's see, what I was going to say has already been wiped from my board. I just keep hearing now. It's more than trust. It's more than trust. Trust seems like an action and or doing or a trying to do, but it's more than knowing. And knowing is not here. Knowing is in all of that sense of being that one is able to connect to, especially as the fear and the stories fall away and we just get to have that vibration of being. The knowing happens there because the trust always throws up these flags to kind of deflect and stuff like that. And a lot of people sometimes will use trust and faith interchangeably, but they're very much two different things. And faith happens in the knowing that all is exactly as it is to be, regardless of my human experience of it. There was something else that was supposed to be said, but it's gone now, so I guess it'll come back around. Love you all.
Do you want to take the next page?
It's funny
Bonnie, I'm
because
having trouble hearing you. Can you, I'm having difficulty hearing you.
it's these damn headphones that I don't know how to work.
Oh,
One
okay.
second. Okay, 1 second. Let me turn it up. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. To know who you are, which is to realize who you are, is to know yourself as of source, or the God within you that is your true self. To know what you are is to know yourself as the manifestation or expression of this source, the one note sung. Because God must be all things, including body, or God can be nothing at all. And to know how you serve, which is not what you think, but to understand or agree to your expression, the consciousness you hold, the field you hold, as an emanation, an active expression of the divine. That is how you serve. Ah, that makes me dizzy. Each one of you before us, each of you who hear these words, is being offered a promise. If you attend to these teachings, you will be met by those of us who write the text, and you will be met in the ways that you can be met. Not all of you will hear, but all of you can know. Knowing is truth, and to know truth is to abide in truth. This is not the knowing of our words. Oh, this is not the knowing of our words, but the knowing of your own experience as of them, of the source of all things. When we speak through Paul, we come in several ways. The name that we offer is Melchizedek, but who and what we are is a perfect expression of the one note sung. And because we know this to be true about who we are, we know this to be true of you as well. Because we are who you become when you truly know who you are. The distance between us is actually non existent. While we operate in a much higher tone than you maintain while in body, your realization will always be consummate to the level of acceptance that you can say yes to of your true nature. Now, our requirement for you as a student is really quite simple. Begin to align not only to one idea, I am not great. Begin to align not only to one idea, I am not separate, but to the idea that replaces it, I am in union with the source of all things. I am in union with the source of all things. The aspect of you that knows this, which we call the monad or the divine self, is present in you now. And this is who aligns you through the prior claims we have instructed in. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free. I am free. I am free. I am in the upper room to its knowing. Now in your knowing, you are actually sung, or the expression of your field lifts to a level of tone where you are reclaimed and then begin to serve in the reclamation of all. The foundation of this teaching has always been one principle. You are of source. The Christ within you, call it what you wish, seeks its resurrection through you, and its expression as and through you is what claims the world anew. New means not what you thought it was, not improved, but other, another world, a higher world. I just figured I'd finish the thought. But holy crapiola, wow. It was like right off of what I was just saying. And I guess I was saying it because that's kind of how it's been walking out in this being. It's just everything is in vibration right now for us. I really don't have anything else to say about it because even that is in vibration. As they're about to talk about, I just realized. I did like where they invited to shift the idea, shift the vibration that we're holding of I'm not separate to I am in union with the source of all things. Removing the not and having it all be a vibration of receptivity.
Yeah. That's a helpful wording because it's integrating with everything instead of just like,
Yeah.
oh, me and God, but it's like God, well, God is everything. It's the light of awareness shining onto every fiber, every aspect of it. Yeah. Um, all right, let's go. Sandra, can you read the next page?
Okay. Um, Hello, everyone. I love you. Now, the manifest plane that you operate in has qualities, but all of these qualities are being played out in a musical key that is of one octave. I love these metaphors. These are so good, especially the sound and the vibration and the music. One octave means that the chair you sit in, the lamp you read by, the sunset, the sand beneath your feet at the seashore is all of one source, occupying space or your idea of space in different vibration known in different ways. But what makes the sand is the same as what makes your feet, that which stands upon the sand and the sky that you believe surrounds you. It is all one source. The codified nature of your reality, claimed through separation, holds a level of density that we would suggest can be transformed through the application of the teachings we have offered thus far. Realization. Behold, I make all things new. The divine self claiming itself in vibrational accord with the more dense plane, which doesn't solidify the dense plane, but indeed lifts it to its true nature being source. Wow, that's a lot of words. So no matter how dense we are, when we claim the truth, we lift it. That's my simple version of that. Now, when we teach through Paul, we understand his concerns. He wasn't expecting a text, at least not today. This is the best news of the day, Paul. We would like you to say thank you for this offering that is coming through you, which will actually claim you, as well as the reader, in a strata of vibration that you only imagined. Your imagination is good, but not nearly as good as the experience that is to come. And by experience, we mean the level of amplitude that you may be touched by because you have gone into coherence with it. That's kind of what I heard William say when he jumped in. It's in coherence with us. When we said we sponsor the students, we are willing to meet them where they can be met. We consider you student as well, perhaps the first one, at least in this lifetime, although we have worked with you before. We have worked with many of our students in different ways throughout lifetimes because we are not bound by your idea of time and space. We can be anywhere and indeed everywhere in simultaneity. There is an aspect of you, of each of you, that can do the same. Wow, that's trippy. Mm. Do you want me to keep reading or stop there?
Do you want to do one last paragraph?
Okay. To withstand the changes that occur and are occurring on this plane, you actually need to become agile, willing to move with a current of energy that might otherwise buffet you. Yeah, stop being so rigid, Plex. If you seek to hold on to the old while the wind is blowing greatly, you will have a more difficult time than if you allow the wind to carry you to the next high plane. All are being lifted now, but the release of the dense field and the attachment to it, those things born in separation, that have accrued great evidence and hold violence are still present and must be dismantled. Your attachment to a sense of self that would say, me first, I am the most important, my needs must be met as I say they should, that must be released to the greater that seeks to come through you. I'm reminded of this last storm with the trees in the back on the preserve behind us. The rigid ones broke in the wind. They just broke in half. But the ones that were flexible, like the birches, they just swayed. I mean, they swayed even to the touching the ground, and then they came back up. So allow the wind to take us to the next plane, as it's doing right now in this little group of us.
Bonnie.
And as they're speaking of density and that place where you paused, Sandra, too. Our experience has been that as we moved out of that place or through that lens of looking at everything for what's wrong, what's dangerous, what's off, as our lens cleared there, or as we shift to a different lens and stop telling the fear stories because that's no longer what we were seeing. It was almost as though this, I have to say it this way, this sense of being stuffed in this body dissipated. And all of the energy that exists here got to stretch out and be free in a whole nother way because it wasn't being confined inside those little prison walls. Oh, I moved to share this, and there was a time in the experience of such great separation in my system where the person that I was working with on the outside I have no memory of the some work, but afterwards my internal experience was like a blitzkrieg. Like all the walls were gone. Everything we had known it to be was gone. And so the question was, well, what do we do now? What is it supposed to be now? And the person I was working with said, whatever you create it to be. Like that, whatever you want it to be, how you work together is how that works. It doesn't have to be based on all that other stuff. I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. But what it was our walls were down and we got to really learn how to operate in a more unified way within this expression. And I love that they're talking about lenses because when May and I have talked before, and that's kind of how those that ride with me they express through the lenses they see through. But it doesn't mean that we're not all of the same divine energy that expresses in these little boxes on the screen. But it was when fear fell away that the density kind of just started to dissolve in the experience of the being for us. Hope that makes sense.
That was truly beautiful, Lonnie. Just so beautiful. It really resonated with me. And when you felt stuffed into the body, I know that feeling. And yet, on the previous page, the guides told us that God is in all things, including the body, or God can be nothing at all. And I spent too much time trying to not be a body. And, and now the body is full of life down to every little cell. And that life feels lighter. I no longer feel stuffed. It's lighter. It's Every little cell in this body is God,
Mhm.
and it heals and it feels things,
Mhm.
and that's all good.
Mhm.
So,
And just your saying of speaking those words of truth fills me up and fills all that I am up and gets to fill each of us on this
yeah.
vibration with you with that same thing. That's why we sit and smile so much, because there's such joy in the system
Yes.
for the appreciation of what's happening for that all of us know is happening for us. There's
Mhm.
such joy there for that in the witnessing.
Joy, and as the joy bubbles through, there's a cherishing, like a cherishing of the experience. The experience is holy. It's
Say
all
that.
of it, all of it. I mean, I was in a lot of pain a day last week, and I just looked at that pain and said, okay, I get to feel pain now. And really, I absolutely could do that. I don't know if I'd be able to do that tomorrow, but yes, I was then. And
We
it's
only have now.
just, yeah, it's just, everything is holy now, like the song.
Holy, holy.
It arises to be felt. Yeah, and integrated. Yeah. William.
Well, I just keep hearing the word knowing, 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 knowing. Wow, knowing. Truth sets you free. Thy will be done. Those things just keep resonating with me. Knowing is truth. This is not the knowing of words. I can let those go. They'll just pass on through. But knowing, what is knowing? It's knowing. It's that I'm not separate. I'm just this knowing. I don't have to figure it out. I just fall back. It's like falling back, surrendering to knowing. I don't even have to know what knowing is. It's just knowing, being, whatever that is. And I love the phrase that it's allowing the now to carry me, allowing that wind to carry me. It's just surrender and letting this now be, be. I just sometimes feel, wow. And then I go silent, and that's the wind right there. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
The wind. Definitely. And even like just the physical wind, the transmutation of energy. And lately I've been interpreting that as more of this return to a way that I can integrate my own awareness onto like natural thinking, which is just it's this thinking that's integrated with our awareness and then just the awareness of everything around us living as well, which we all kind of eat light in this really beautiful way. Suzanne.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. May, good to hear everyone's perspective. When William was talking about knowing, knowing is something that has been so abstract for me. Um, for me, I recently realized that knowing is a visceral experience. It's something that first I feel in my body, and then I feel it in my aura, kind of. But aligned with what Rana said earlier, taking that leap is really taking that leap to knowing, to have that be a, an ongoing part of who I am, is very frightening because I've listened to so many of these teachings, and when Paul talks about how your lessons are productive, that that has always kind of freaked me out because whenever he talks about a productive lesson, it's usually something where he's been taken to his knees, and I'm thinking, how many times do I have to be taken to my knees? Um, but I think I think in the acknowledgement of the unity and the knowing of that unity. I do have that knowing of unity and all of us belonging in the kingdom. Um, that kind of knowing, I think, makes whatever the lesson is less frightening, I guess, for me. Um, and willing to accept it because I think um, I really feel it. I feel the connection between people, and I feel the lack of I mean, the uniqueness, but lack of specialness of any of us, including all those people that I disagree with and had formerly had judgments with. And so I think for me, knowing would be not having those judgments anymore and viscerally, viscerally knowing that that is the truth. Mental knowing is one thing, and it's never taken me very far. But that visceral, knowing you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, and that's knowing. Thank you.
And do you want to take the next page?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I have to find out. What's the next?
Um, it's imagine. It starts at imagine on page 15.
Yeah, the thing that happened, it's not at page 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you on an iPad or?
I'm reading it on an iPad and it's confusing a little bit.
I can take this one.
Okay, thank you.
I got it. Okay.
Oh, I see
Imagine.
it. Imagine that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine a woodwind instrument. Imagine some of the holes are plugged. You cannot play the full song until the woodwind is cleared. Oh, that's a beautiful image. When it is cleared, you are sung in fullness. So that would mean our tone is clear. Our tone is who we are. Our tone aligns with the truth of who we are, I'm thinking. The action of the texts that we write will indeed attend to this, but in a primary way. We are going to work with a level of tone that will do much of the work without your trying to figure it out or support it through an old practice. By old practice, we mean the simple ways that you think you should be to feel better, to get what you wish, or claim the self in a higher accord. Every text we have written has been in preparation for where we take you next. The foundation is not only built, it is actually built in the ethers. It is present now, as foundation that you may stand upon. Because you can stand here, you can receive the higher. The purpose of everything we have done is not to make you happy, but to support your realization of the divine that is beyond happy. It is wonder. It is love. It is agreement to love. But it is also truth. And truth is not always comfortable when you have been operating in illusion. And the wall of separation is indeed illusion, because we dismantle it through this text as we are allowed to teach, because we absolve you in some ways of your participation within it by claiming you beyond it. We will see you in a unified state as you truly are, as you can only be seen, so that your experience of it may come at a level that you can move to accord to. So I just want to say one thing. This just came to me. The guides have always talked about, we don't need to effort. We don't need to struggle in order to be in our knowing. And I remember, I don't know if it was a prayer or calling in the guides or something like that. And I asked for gentle lessons. I just asked for gentle lessons. And I have to remember that. I have to remember that ever since I made that request or threw that out there into the universe, I have had gentle lessons. Lessons for sure. And if I don't listen to those lessons, then they get a little bit more intense. But I have to really keep remembering that that thing about not efforting is something that we can control. It's in asking for gentle lessons, and I have found that that is what has happened. So this old fear that I drag around with me is ancient. It's just ancient because it isn't something that I know has been my reality in the last, I don't know, 15 years probably. Anyway, thank you. That
And
was a
we are in fact in so many ways the creators of our own lessons by how we choose to carry things, by the lens we insist on seeing through or being unwilling to, as they said in the earlier piece, wipe clean or be the change of in order to be able to see clear. We kind of create it. And I forget too, and it's not until I'm on the other side of it sometimes and I look, I'm like, damn. And then I stop and I'm like, wow, it could have really been much worse than it was, you
right.
know? But if I'm participatory in the illusion, then I am also participatory in removing or coming out of the illusion.
So also, I feel that remembering that for me, recalling that for me, that helps to clarify. I don't even know, the light or the lens or whatever it is, so that that is not just happening for me. That is allowing, whoever wants to tune into that possibility to know that that is possible. We don't have to
In
struggle.
in one of the lessons from one of the readings in I don't remember because I don't have all these set in my head like that, but it talked about how we are freeing ourselves of the illusion of separation frees the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 And this group is so helpful for me to remember that. So thank you.
I I just wanted to add a along that line that sometimes I can't hear the silence, but I'll ask, well, what would love do at this point? Almost like, what would Jesus, whatever that is, what, what would love have to do or say or be? And oh, I can hear that a little better than sometimes the silence, but the silence prepares me to pay attention and listen. I think that's it. And then that word knowing, I think we each have a certain kind of relationship to knowing. And for me, knowing has so many, 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 many ramifications. It's undefinable. So
That's like when I find myself thinking, working too hard up here. The only action I know to do now is to go every place but up here. And that drops me into the being and into the knowing.
and when there's an image that occurs and it seems like I melt, and it's the oneness, the now of the oneness. And so whether I'm looking at your big smile, Lonnie, and seeing the hair on your head, doesn't matter. It's that right now something in me is, it's like an updraft.
Yeah, everything is opportunity to dive in a little bit more. And yeah, Sandra.
Suzanne, you just sparked something to me that, let's see how to say this. What we think is awful or what we think is scary isn't. We're making it that way. And we're making everything. And Lonnie said this, we're creating our experience. And when we realize the power, when I realized the power of that I actually make myself scared. It isn't what's happening that is scary. I'm the one making myself scared. It isn't what is happening. It's like one of our teachers said we're writing the code while we're in the program. We're writing the code ourselves. We are creating all of this. And then I can look at what before, I have a new lens, and that new lens is not like I have to grin and bear it because everything is for me. No, it's not like that. I don't have to grin and bear it. I can welcome it and realize the inherent beauty of it all. It's like you're taking swimming lessons on the side of the pool, and some teachers you've read books about swimming, and you've done all these things that then you've got to get in the water. And the water is the knowing. It's not on the side of the pool when you were learning. It's not the books you were reading. It's when you're in the water. If you've decided that you're going to drown in that water, you're going to be like, whoa, I can't breathe. But if you see that it's going to be beautiful, it will be beautiful.
It's like when they toss a brand new baby in the water and the baby just knows. Like the baby's not afraid.
Yeah,
The baby just knows to swim.
And I don't say this lightly with somebody who hasn't had quote traumatic experiences. I have. And I can see in retrospect and in real time the beauty and the gift it is. It might be not wrapped in the package that you would call a gift, but it is a gift. And I am the one that's making it scary. I'm the one who thinks there's a monster at the door that I don't want to let in. But then when I open that door and welcome in what I thought was a monster, is not a monster at all. I get a big hug.
You clear the holes in
So
the
that's the lens, that's the
windpipe.
new higher vibration, and everything is seen differently. And it's, you only know, but you can't explain that to somebody on the side of the pole. They've got to be in the water. That's the knowing in the water. You can never explain what water is like until you're in it. And then there really aren't even words for you to try to describe that to someone.
Yeah. But to have it is to share it in the same way, where it's like, I think it's the hope that, or just like it's just your own experiential knowing that is that kind of transference. And even if the other doesn't fully know what's going on, it's kind of like magic still starts to happen. Like you get the like synchronicities like out the wazoo. You get like all the birds like showing you their little wings and things and like it feels like the tiki room out here. um yeah. John.
It's like suddenly knowing I can't drink from the word water.
Yeah, experiential.
Yeah, so that's great. I love your smile, May. You just you're so bright, and Sandra too. Thank you so much, everybody. I like to just let you know what I'm thinking about. I love this. All these metaphors I'm hearing today. This is must be metaphor week. I don't know. Anyway, I like to say Friday AM is I got from this. Is this taking me to my knees when he said that. That was highlighted for me. And then thank you so much for the gentle lessons there, Sandra. That was, that was just followed on that as well. And as I'm writing this code, and thinking about that water, it's like homemade jam. I can't explain what it tastes like. You have to taste it. How can I explain what it's like? But the one thing that I'm left with is and I can't find it now, but he's mentioned it. Oh yeah, here it is. To support your realization of the divine that is beyond happy, it is wonder. I'm just thinking about that one word, wonder, because that came to me this week, in big times. I wonder what my next thought will be. I wonder, ABC. And, I'm not my thoughts. I'm the observer of them. And when I forget that, I can get hijacked by them. And that is exactly what happens when these holes get plugged in this woodwind instrument. When John plugs his own holes with his made up stuff about what's going on. So it's been such a wonderful experience for me to be with you, wonderful people. I just want to thank you and wish you a lovely weekend and joy and wonder in your lives. Thank you so much.
And curiosity doesn't mean, you were talking, John, it just hit me. Curiosity and wonder, that doesn't mean, oh my God, I don't know everything and I got to know everything. Curiosity and wonder means you're willing to learn or grow or know beyond what you think you already know. To know nothing or to know more, but to know even broader than what you already know. It's in no way an indication of lack.
No, thank you.
But an invitation to abundance.
Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you thank you for you.
And you.
But yeah, the joy and spaciousness can it's almost this like state of bewilderment sometimes, where you're just filled with whatever is in your surroundment, but then knowing that it is like it's all just arising from my own light of awareness. It's freedom. All right. I think we are
Excuse me,
on.
May. I just have one thing to say.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It's like the wonder into the world of I don't know. I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah. Invitation for inquiry. I feel
And
like, yeah, sometimes when you've spoken about your experience with nature and birds and stuff, I get that very like deep set like experience transferred into my own being. It's yeah, your anecdotes. I think about them from time to time. Yeah, Rana said, I don't know what anything is for. And communication is constant, and ideas grow stronger when shared. All right. Would anyone like to read the next paragraph? Alice? Yeah.
What time do we end?
8:15.
Yeah, 15 past.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. On the metaphor in the last paragraph, I was one thing. It was just, and then it's about being the plugged holes in the wind instrument. It's like um, a matching metaphor, I guess. It's like being let me be a hollow bone. Let me be clear, because I think it's but it's plugged with fear. You know, that's the simple. There's love or fear is, for me. Anyway, just I'll read the next one. Every text we have written has been in preparation for where we take you next. Is that where we are? No.
We're at the paragraph underneath it.
Yeah. We will say this. When we speak a word, Paul, we say the word. If we wish to correct a word, we will do it clearly. You need not struggle. This text has been written by us before you receive it. The translation into language of our energies is predominant now. It happens with ease and swiftness because you have been prepared, and because we have prepared for this interaction prior to your birth. Each of you before us has said yes to a level of tone that is going to dismantle or abolish or recreate or reclaim aspects of personality that have been forged through fear. Each of you who has said yes to going on this journey with us will be encountered by us, escorted over the ways that would be too fearful to walk alone. But we will say this: no one will be abandoned on this path. We are encouraging you now and saying these words to you for a reason. The opportunity that is present here will be beyond what you think and beyond what you can imagine through an old template. When you look at the world that has been drawn on a map, excuse me, when you look at the names things have been given and how those names have changed over thousands of years, you will understand that the world you have known has held many iterations. The idea of self that you know in this lifetime has known itself through different patterns, relations, ideas of self, and structures structures of commerce, religion, or education. Where we are taking you now, acknowledge these things. We don't deny your past. We have seen you in your suffering. I'm sorry. But we have also seen you in your perfection. God has come as each of you, or the divine has come, the sacred has come in its identity to reclaim yours in the highest way it may hold while maintaining form. We sing your songs for you so that you may learn the words. And as we say these words, we say what is always true. God is, God is, God is. Your reclamation is begun. This is the end of the introduction. Thank you for your presence. Stop now, please. Period, period, period. Wow. Quite the promise. Quite the promise. Or indication of you know, I you know what I have, you know, what I permit, what I claim. Amazing, amazing text.
Yeah, thank you. Now is a good spot to leave off in the reading section. We'll start part one next week.
All of this has been the introduction.
Yeah.
All of this has just been the friggin' introduction.
Yeah.
Oh my, oh my.
And we could only take it one paragraph at a time. And that's just the introduction.
Swimming in it, Rana,
Yeah, this is all like super exciting, you know, and another like woohoo, right, thing. We have prepared for this interaction prior to your birth.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, oh, right. And you know, just understanding like it is kind of gentle, isn't it? You know, we know what you've been like. We know the idea of self that you've carried. It's okay. Right? It's okay, honey. Right? But I feel this real sense of being drawn on a path that I didn't know I was being drawn to. And how exciting to be in this moment. The divine has come in its identity to reclaim yours in the highest way it may hold while maintaining form. And these last couple paragraphs really haven't asked us to do anything, as was so eloquently pointed out by Suzanne. You know, it's not asking us to do anything. We have been pulled here. We're just being asked to accept the gift, really. I mean, my arms are tingling. Just accept. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I love what you said, and I'm just paraphrasing it because it resonates with something I've felt for a long time, that there is a path of awareness and there is a path of unity, but I never in this life expected to become aware of my part in that. So I'm very grateful for these teachings and and very grateful for this group because we're mining all the gold out of all these teachings and that's quite an opportunity. So everyone have a good weekend. I look forward to seeing you next year, next week.
I just want to point out one line that I think is so important. No one will be abandoned on this path.
Yeah.
No one's left behind, no one's left out.
And
Years
if I
ago,
just might add, here we are in community. That was referred to a number of times, and in community. So we will not leave any of us behind.
years ago, as we entered what society considered recovery, and all of the things they were offering in recovery, one of the things that just kept being echoed and echoed, and when I hear it in this, I could almost cry, was the fact that no one is left behind.
Yeah.
No one disappears. No part of you has to go away in order to exist in peace and calm and love. And that meant everything to this system.
The gifts of passage.
May, thank you so much for doing this.
Beautiful.
Thank you, all of
meeting,
you.
Thank you.
Yes, it has been a wonderful gathering today. Thank you, May, so much. A lot of things have been explored here today. I feel pretty light
Yeah.
right now. I feel like the vibration is up a bit. So I
We're
want
going
to
to start the day.
want to wish everyone a great weekend, and thank you for joining us today. I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
I